What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where civilization starts over in Europe. And in today's episode, we're going to see the Age of Domination starting. Because as you can see, big empires are starting to form. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So, I added a new layer of the country names. Not all of them are on here because some countries are kind of small to put the names on there. So we have the ones I didn't name. This is the Coastal Empire, I decided to call it. Pretty cool because, it has a pretty big coastline. I don't think it's the biggest coastline out of all the countries, but yeah. We have the Kingdom of France. I know I'm using names from real life countries, but I'm just calling it that because it's in the French area, okay? We have the Prussian Empire. We have the North Puppet, the Central Puppet, and the South Puppet, or North Poland, Central Poland, and South Poland. We have the Bosnian Kingdom, or you could call it the Bosnian Empire too. We have the Greek Empire. We have the Empire of Russia, and that's it for all the main ones. We also have these three countries here, the Czechia country, the Belgian country, the Scottish country, and Denmark, Sweden, and Scandinavia, Latvia, and Lithuania. So, and Ukraine, and Turkey, and this country, and this country. I kind of forgot that this one existed. Anyway, let's get straight into the video. So, yeah. So, we are going to see, I'm going to turn off the, country names layer real quick. We're going to see some expansion in the south of this country here, expanding into Italy a bit, actually bordering this country now. So now they are bordering each other. They're both in the Mediterranean alliance, so this country is also going to expand a little bit, and not cut this country off, but just kind of stop this country from expanding, because they also want some land too, so they're actually going to expand all the way down to Greece, so now they're bordering Greece, and actually, Greece is going to take the rest of this. So now we have, 3 Italian countries, as you can see, or 4, I guess, if you're considering modern-day Italian country, because you have, or I guess Greece technically that's just a Greek colony, or Greek southern Italy. So technically there's 3 Italian countries, maybe 4 if you consider Greece, but technically their mainland is this. So, okay, hold on, there's a freaking ad. Okay, so anyway, yeah, what I was saying was, this is Greece's mainland here, and whatnot, so, yeah, I guess they can consider this part of their mainland too, they kind of do, but really it's not, it's just, kind of a colony that they own. So, we also have the Coastal Empire, the Triangle Alliance, what was I gonna do? Oh, yeah. So, Russia and Germany are coming to an agreement of possibly uniting Poland again, not including South Poland. And this is good for Poland. They're a pro-German government now, technically, it's a good thing for them, I guess. We're actually going to see a new country forming, though, as a matter of fact. So, I actually didn't realize that I didn't have borders between these countries, which I'm going to draw them real quick. This is actually going to be the new country forming. You may ask, well, what new country can form here? I mean, the only way a country could form is right here. It's actually going to be a commonwealth, I guess, so it's a union, I guess. Yeah, a union, but the countries are still, have like kind of separate governments in a way, but they're in a union. So, what's gonna happen is so actually, hold on. We're gonna erase these borders that I just drew. Besides the Greek one, because we kind of need the Greek one because that's an actual border. We're actually going to make these borders thinner, like this. Because technically, there we go. So the borders are thinner now. Go onto the main layer, and we're going to go into here. Going to take the purple country. The purple country is going to be the leader of this union. And we're just going to see the purple country not annexing these countries, because technically they're not. It's just becoming, like I said, a union. But the purple country is the leader, but there's still borders there, just in case if a country wanted to leave the union or whatever. So, actually, the coastal empire was actually thinking about leading the union, but they're not sure yet. So they're just gonna stay out of it for now. So maybe eventually we'll see like a giant Mediterranean empire. That'd be pretty cool. Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you're still watching the video up till here, please leave your suggestions down in the comments, because I don't think people watch the videos till the end. So, they don't hear me say leave your suggestions down in the comments for future episodes. But I really like when people leave their suggestions. So, yeah, please do that, because, it's nice, because then I could see what people kind of want happening in the series. So, yeah. So, as you can see, there's still, 3 capitals, because, like I said, it's like a Commonwealth or Union, I guess, so it's not like, it's still kind of 3 separate countries, but, they're all working together now. It's almost one country. So they're going to call it the Italian Commonwealth, or Mediterranean Commonwealth, or actually, no. I don't know. Think of it down in the comments. So, actually, we're going to see the French just a little bit expanding. Oh, wait, hold on. Got to make sure we off the other layer. Anyway, we're going to see the French expanding down into here just a little bit. Not much, just down to like this little lake right here. That's not little in real life, probably. Going to go around that lake. Also, too, we're going to see the Greek annexation of southern Poland. I know that sounds kind of crazy, because it was only supposed to be a puppet at first, and it was. But the Germans and the Russians said that would be okay if Greek annexed it, because they kind of wanted to in the first place. Like, as soon as Greece captured this area of Poland, Greece wanted to annex it. They've always wanted to, so that's what they're gonna do, expand their empire, because the Greek Empire is getting pretty big. So the Greek Empire expands. As that happens, Finland and Lithuania have their secret alliance, of course, and they're developing planes, just like Germany did in the last episode. And they have one successful design, which is just a bomber. They don't have any fighters right now, just a bomber. And the test run went pretty well, for the most part. There was a few problems, which that was just a prototype model that they had, so there was a few problems with the engines and stuff, and, other things. I mean, it was their first plane ever. I think it was the first ever plane that was ever built, but really it wasn't. It was just, after German. But, there was a problem with that plane, so, yeah. Anyway, that happened. Greece annexed southern Poland. making the ginormous Greek Empire. It's probably not still bigger than the Prussian Empire yet, but yeah. Anyway, though, whoops. Anyway, so Russia and whatchamacallit, and Prussia, so Russia and Prussia, or Russia and Germany, decide to unite the two Polish puppets here, which is pretty nice for Poland. The northern Poland didn't mind, even though it was their own country now, they didn't mind getting united back with Poland because they were kind of together a few years ago in the series. So, they're both pretty happy to be one country again. However, like I said, it's different government now. So now, whatchamacallit? Now Germany, though, and Russia are arguing about if it's going to be a pro-Russian or pro-German. And that's where kind of, like, they kind of clash a little bit, because it's like they were agreeing on united the things, but now they're arguing about what government it should be. And Germany is like, well, I was the one who actually took down Poland. You're lucky to be able to actually get a piece of Poland because you took all of Eastern Europe. So, besides, Ukraine or whatever. So, yeah. Russia's just like, you know what, whatever. So, yeah. So, as you can see, Poland is united, or North Poland and Central Poland were united. South Poland got annexed by the Greek Empire. We actually see an exploration happening. If you're wondering who this is, hold on, let me... Exploring this island, you'd actually be pretty surprised. Exploring this island right here. It's the good old colonizer. One of the best colonizers in this series. You'll see who it is in just a second, actually. As I use their country color. And they were not really allowed to expand, but, after the treaty, but they kind of just, don't care. Lithuania decided to come down here. And now, they'd passed by the coastal empire, and they did see, the coastal empire could tell that there's, another landmass here, but they haven't really tried to check it out. Lithuania, however, saw that. And as we know, Lithuania is one of the main colonizers in this series, besides Poland, but as we know, Poland kind of got a little bit oofed. So, sorry, I'm just checking my recording, but Poland got a little bit oofed by the war, but Lithuania still kind of is a thing, I guess you could say. So they're gonna try their best to colonize and stuff. But yeah, it was mainly Lithuania that would colonize. As you could see here, they're actually gonna take the rest of Ireland, because why not? I don't know why they haven't done that yet, but they're gonna take the rest of Ireland. Oh, I'm using such small pixel sizes. It takes me so long to freaking color all this in. Anyway, yeah, they're gonna take the rest of Ireland. Let me just grab, I'm gonna make the pixel size just a little bit bigger so I can color this in a bit faster. Anyway, yeah, so they took the rest of Ireland. I don't know why they didn't really do that before, but they did. They didn't, I guess, because of the war. So, actually, we see more of the British Isles being discovered, by Scotland, but also Lithuania did, explore a little bit of it, because even though they're part of the British Isles, is up here, they could technically land on the British Isles. They know that there was more there, they just were too occupied with the war when it happened, so they discovered most of, the British Isles. Prussia even comes in and, explores it a bit. The explorers kind of clash a little bit, but they just kind of chillax, they gotta chillax, so, we see some colonies being set up, though, here. we have, it's kind of weird because in, like, real life, Britain was the one who colonized everything, but instead Britain's getting colonized by everything else. So, Prussia sets up a small colony, actually, yeah, pretty big. The actual British country expands a little bit. This used to be a Polish colony, if you watched before World War II. This used to be a Polish colony until they were kind of just released. Britain didn't really, I'm just going to call them Britain. Britain didn't really ask to be released, but they're kind of happy about it, I guess. Lithuania comes in and takes most of this before Britain can, because Britain would have, if Lithuania gave them a little bit more time. They even come down and go as far as taking some of this, too. By far, Lithuania is the colonizer this series, until we might see another country, but, so they discover, or they take most of, like, southern England, I guess. I guess Britain can take a little bit more, too. You know what? Let's just colonize the entirety of the British Isles, because why not? So, this goes to Lithuania. Prussia was not fast enough, so they did not get nearly as much. As we know, Prussia does have some colonies. They're not too big on colonizing. They're more on their mainland. The reason they have these colonies, they had a small one, like in this area right here, back before World War I, and then Poland took it. And they were like, you know what, Poland? After I win World War II, I'm going to take my colony back, take Denmark's colony and Lithuania, and then I'm going to take you and your Lithuania's other colonies and make them their own country, so Prussia kind of punched them in the face. Denmark kind of, actually, you know what? You know what, we're going to do this. Britain is not going to get all of Britain. I know that sounds kind of weird to say, but, Denmark, I kind of forgot about Denmark, so we're going to let Denmark have a little piece down here. So Britain actually did not get all of Britain. Denmark got a tiny piece, too. They're all trying to colonize, colonizing things. I always like to check my recording every time that happens. Anyway, let's add some borders. So we gotta shrink it down to 4 pixels for the borders. We got a Lithuanian colony, a German colony, or Prussian colony, surprisingly. They don't always colonize, but yeah, we got 3 new colonies that just formed, and now Prussia and Lithuania border. I mean, they already border over here, but now a little more, not tensions, but now they're like, well, we know Lithuania's trying to expand now and try to get more power, to make a comeback in some sort. That's what they think, at least. I'm going to add some more major cities here. Lithuania sets up a few really fast. Britain, I kind of haven't really added any to theirs, but I'll go ahead and do that. Lithuania likes to make their country very, not popular, like, they like to have population, like to have people in their country. So, yeah. Anyway, speaking of Africa, remember whenever Africa, I was saying Lithuania did see Africa? Well, let's just say Lithuania landed in Africa, and they didn't really get too far. I mean, they got kind of far into it, mainly just along the coastline because of the desert, so they didn't realize the big desert that they were in, so they kind of just explored the coastline mainly. But they set up a few colonies. They have one here. Actually, they just kind of set it up along the coastline. They even have one in Spain. It's kind of crazy, right? They're colonizing. They're even bordering the coastal empire now, and I guess we could let them border the pink country too. So, the coastal empire of them are, talking, like, seeing relations, because really, the Star Empire, or the Star Alliance, as we know, has these 4 countries in it. Technically 2 if you're not including the 3 in the Union, but there's 4 countries in the alliance, and the Star Alliance wasn't really with the Circle Alliance, nor the Square Alliance in the war. They're kind of just neutral, but, Germany didn't ever really try to talk to them. Greece kind of did a little bit, because, Greece kind of borders them, but Lithuania wants to make, make some friends, I guess you could say, because they have nobody at the moment besides Finland and possibly Denmark. But Denmark I can't remember if I let Denmark have the same government, but they got oofed a lot, so. But Lithuania is taking advantage of this navy that they still have, because their navy didn't really get punished bad. Like, they kind of got to keep most of their navy that they had after the war, whereas Denmark got their navy, like, taken from them. So, for the most part, at least. But Lithuania is trying to take advantage of the navy that they still have, and they're trying to colonize, to get more powerful. Another major city there, but yeah, so Lithuania is taking advantage of that. We actually see the rest of the exploration because I know you guys have said before, I know this is a while ago, that people wanted a Spanish kingdom to arise, and I guess the coastal empire kind of did, but I could add more to Spain for sure. Spain was kind of not explored much, so I'll let Spain get explored, the rest of Spain get explored. These islands still haven't been. Lithuania did explore more down into here, along the coastline, mainly because it is warmer in Africa, a little bit hot because of the desert, so they didn't really explore much into Africa. There hasn't been much exploration over here lately, but a little bit of exploration, especially down this coastline here. I guess I could make another Spanish kingdom, country. People have wanted, like, a big Spanish empire, I think. I'm not going to make a big Spanish, there's already a coastal empire. I'd rather have a few different countries in there. So, making sure that's not too similar to Finland. We actually see one pop up, though, on this coastline, mainly near Galicia, I think that is, but they're also kind of in Portugal area. So, a country, I don't really know if it's a kingdom or an empire, I don't know, whatever, I guess an yeah, I can't pronounce some words, it's kind of weird. Anyway, here we have major cities that I'm gonna go ahead and put down. I always do major cities first, and then I just pick one of the major cities to be the capital. We're going to have, usually I like to have the capitals by the coastline, so we're going to do that. So the capital is going to be right here. Yeah, so as you can see, there's now 4 countries, including Lithuania, in the Spanish, or the Iberian Peninsula. I know Lithuania's mainland's over here, but, it's another country that popped up here. Technically, it's a colony, so. And who knows, maybe one day the colony will turn into its own country, and be there, so. Or, it always could be like, there could be another war, and then another country could end up taking over the colony, so. You never know. But as you could see, Lithuania has very much, expanded their colonies, I should say. They have more colonies now. They expanded their Irish colony. They have another colony in Great Britain now. Now they have 2, or actually 3 new ones in the Mediterranean. I guess this one's technically not Mediterranean, it's more like Atlantic. I don't know what this area is. I guess it's the Atlantic. But yeah, they have a few new colonies down here near the Mediterranean. And the Star Alliance and Lithuania and a little bit of Finland, they're kind of making some negotiations, like talking about an alliance. Prussia doesn't really like that because the whole goal was to keep Lithuania from not joining the alliance, but they kind of did a bad job of stripping Lithuania of what they had compared to Poland. They absolutely destroyed Poland. They took away Poland's navy, they took away Poland's army. Poland didn't have a air force at the time, of course, because, because planes weren't invented yet, but they pretty much, made Poland have no army, hardly any navy, and whatnot, so, Lithuania still has quite a bit of, not much army, but they have quite a bit of navy still, like I've said, so, yeah, so, I guess, that'll do it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you're still watching, leave your suggestions down below in the comments for future episodes. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.